Right, I'm going to try and make sense of the top 5 Indian uncapped players that went for big money in this IPL auction. Let's start with Burton Chakravarthy, who did go for big money at the last auction as well. But as we have seen at times, sometimes the money that you go for doesn't translate into the sort of success that you want, especially for an Indian uncapped player. The case of Burton Chakravarthy is even more curious. He hasn't played any first-class or list A cricket in the calendar year in 2019. He played just the one IPL game last season. He hasn't played much cricket after that with an injury, but clearly he still finds attention from franchises. He's gone for 4 crore to Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, what's the connection there? Well, obviously, Dinesh Karthik knows a bit of Varun Chakravarthy coming from the same state, but he's also figured out that someone who has a similar skill set to Sunil Narine would be valuable to KKR. Otherwise, I'm sure KKR fans would be thinking it's not the easiest place to bowl spin anymore. Kuldeep Yadav had a poor IPL in 2018. Piyush Chawla was let go of, and yet they've invested big in someone like Varun Chakravarthy. Moving on to Yashasvi Jaiswal, whose story continues to get better and better. 2.4 crore to the Rajasthan Royals, the Uttar Pradesh-born, now Mumbai batsman, who of course made headlines with his record double ton in domestic cricket of late. But let's focus on where Yashasvi Jaiswal could fit into this Rajasthan Royals team. If you actually look at that team, they've taken some big calls. They let go of Ajinkya Rahane and Rahul Tripathi. They wanted to build this team around a different core of Indian players, and there might actually be room for Yashasvi Jaiswal to feature right away. They've got a very solid overseas contingent in Butler, Steve Smith, Ben Stokes. So what you are looking for is some Indian players to fill that. Sanju Samson walks into that team, and you think so too does Riyan Parag with the sort of finish that he had to last year's IPL. There is room therefore for Yashasvi Jaiswal if Rajasthan are to invest in youth ahead of someone like Robin Uthappa, who they've also got as backup. Let's move to the duo of Priam, Garg and Viraj Singh, both of whom went for 1.9 crore to Sunrisers Hyderabad. Priam Garg, India's under-19 captain, has been in the news of late, and Viraj Singh, who of course has played the most amount of T20 and first-class cricket amongst these Indian uncapped players, plays a fair bit for Jharkhand, is highly rated. Now, if you look at that Sunrisers team, there are vacancies for Indian players to get in, Indian batsmen to get in straight away. They're obviously hugely reliant on Warner and Bairstow up top, Williamson if they need backup or reinforcement. Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar are probably the only 2 Indian capped players that make that team. They took a big call on letting go of Deepak Hooda and Yusuf Pathan, who served the franchise for so many years, because that experience wasn't paying off. They now have to pick between the likes of Priam Garg, Viraj Singh and perhaps Abhishek Sharma and a few more uncapped players to see who they can fit in to their first 11. So there are opportunities for the likes of Garg and Viraj Singh to actually make the playing 11 for Sunrisers straight away. And lastly, Ravi Vishnoi, the 19-year-old from Rajasthan, who's also part of India's under-19 World Cup team, and he's gone to Kings 11 Punjab for a couple of crore. Now, what's the purpose behind getting Ravi Vishnoi there? There's Murugan Ashwin, who's the only leg spin option, so there is room for a backup leg spinning option if KL Rahul and Anil Kumble want one. And after the acquisition of Sheldon Cottrell, Chris Jordan as well as Jimmy Neesham, you think Mujibur Rahman is not a sure shot in every game for Kings 11. Therefore, having an extra Indian wrist spin option, one highly rated on the under-19 circuit, would go well. Let's not also forget he's got Anil Kumble as a possible mentor that can't get any better for Ravi Vishnoi.